Harry recently hit out about claims regarding that now infamous South Park episode. You know, the one where they were seemingly, well, not in their most favourable light. But again, it appears that Meghan and Harry have their own narrative regarding their own breaking news. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. I hope you're all keeping well. Thank you, by the way, for your lovely comments about the recent video we posted with a stamp, you know, of the royal stamp of our brilliant king, King Charles III. Lots of people agree with me. He should have had a crown on. We're not quite sure whether, of course, it's just a more informal thing. And perhaps later, after the coronation, we will see royal stamps with a crown on. But it does seem strange, doesn't it? After looking at pictures of the Queen for so many years, regally resplendent, wearing a beautiful crown, upon, of course, our famous stamps. Whichever way, some people consider this progress. Is this progress, though? Because as we've seen with Harry and Meghan, seemingly they don't like particular stories regarding themselves, as we've seen. The South Park episode never named them, didn't call them, didn't actually, you know, basically, in fact, allude to them at all. But the fact that these people were, shall we say, cartoons and drawn in a very similar light, plus, of course, South Park and Comedy Central put out a disclaimer at the beginning of that particular episode. What's interesting here is, though, Harry and Meghan didn't want to put out a disclaimer at the front of their Netflix docuseries until they were forced into this by legals. You remember that. What's interesting to note here now, and I find this particularly fascinating, is that Harry and Meghan, according to brand new reports, has plummeted as a brand over in the United States. It appears that they are now rating lower than ever before. Now, a lot of people are basing this on the fact that Prince Harry's book was far too revealing. Meghan Markle's nowhere to be seen. In fact, she's like the Scarlet Pimpernel now. Where she disappeared to, possibly hiding in shame or busy scribbling her own book. Who knows? And then, of course, we have the docu-series, which revealed so many negativities that really, when you think about it, there was nothing in a favourable taste. So consequently, it's interesting to note, isn't it, that Harry and Meghan, and as ever we have to say allegedly, claim that, a little bit like the South Park, baseless and boring, these polls mean nothing. And the reason is simply this. Now, the bottom line is, according to Harry, with him having an international best-selling book, how can you possibly believe the polls claiming he and Meghan are so unpopular? I think Harry's missing the point. The bottom line is this. People are buying the book for gossip, for trivia, and at points laughing at them, dare I say. Now, these polls are undertaken by some rather serious pollsters, and the bottom line for Harry and Meghan, as ever, is I would take these seriously if you're trying to push ahead with whatever you're planning next, because it really does give an accurate feel about exactly how people feel about you. But according to the team out at Montecito, you know, the one that like to come out and debunk everything, no, these mean nothing. They're just fabricated. Harry and Meghan remain incredibly popular over in the United States of America, and over here, as ever, it's just the British press that are painted a negative light. Now, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you look at these things, the polls will say one thing, and Harry and Meghan, as ever, are saying another. As I often say here on the show, we have many viewers over in the United States, and they tell me in the comments below, they're simply not that popular. So once again, who's lying? The pollsters or Harry and Meghan? And if they are that unpopular, do you see a way back for them? As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.